Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs and amazing people such as Paul Cocuzza.
Thank you.
I got a little bit Italian on your last name, brother. I didn't recognize it too much, Paul.
You
How
did
you doing,
good.
man?
Good
How you
seeing
doing?
you. Long time.
A long time, exactly. Paul, you are with UCP of Central Arizona. Tell us a little bit about what you do, because better come from directly from your mouth, man. Because because the thing that you do with UCP is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet.
So a lot of what I do is I go out into the community.
Yeah.
Because our name kind of pigeonholes us, since we do work with a lot more than just those with cerebral palsy. So what I do is I go out into the community, I do a lot of networking, attend chamber events. I also fundraise for the organization, so I keep myself very active and of course utilize the power of social media.
Sure, and UCP specifically does what?
So we work with approximately 3,500 children and adults, not only with cerebral palsy, but with autism, Down syndrome, developmental delays, and learning disabilities.
How endemic is this problem? I mean, do we have enough resources to attack this and to tackle this particular problem, or
Well,
what is it that we have?
so the misnomer with CP is that actually it's not a disease, but usually it's a trauma that occurs in the womb. A lot of times the umbilical cord may get caught around the neck and cuts off oxygen to the brain, and then depending on the severity of the area affected would cause the severity of the cerebral palsy. So some cases there's a hint that is noticeable, and in other cases, it's very, very tough. So
it sounds incredible, and you're going to have to forgive my ignorance in this whole thing. And I would imagine a lot of us, because unless it affects you directly, sometimes we are not aware of the
Right.
gravity of the situation. And you're talking about numbers, it's 3,500 adults and children?
adults and children that we work with. And it's not only those with CP, but actually right now about 60% are with a high level of autism that we work with. So
And you mentioned autism, and in the recent years, there's been an effort to tie vaccination to autism. Is that something that is a myth? Is there a link to that, Paul?
they're not sure. The positive thing is that they are able to diagnose it now as early as 15 months. So
Okay.
early intervention is very, very important.
And you can see, though, that this group of people that suffer from CP, autism, and the people that you work with, those are people that can certainly, they're part of our society. We live with them. And sometimes we tend to even fear them or look at this particular group with a little bit of hesitation, perhaps,
Right.
because they're different from us.
Right, and one of the things is our mission is that everyone should live life without limits. So a lot of the things that we do in our campus up in North Phoenix is we have after-school programs, we have an adult program. It's all life and social skills.
And one of the things that we don't realize, because there are some fabulous people that we've interviewed here, as a matter of fact, that also work with autistic children, actually, and autistic adults, that you should be able to treat, and the message is that we should be able to treat everyone with the same respect and with the same, how shall I say, with the same way that we treat everybody else.
Right, we're all people, little different. And the other great thing about our program is that on our campus up in North Phoenix, we have an early learning center. So think of that as a pre-K.
Right.
But it's an inclusive program. So we actually have 70% typical children or children with no special needs mixed in with 30% that do. So from a very young age, they're able to see that there's really nothing any different, and they grow up and become advocates once they go into mainstream schools. So
that's pretty amazing and admirable. This is about your journey as well. This is, we tell the story of entrepreneurs,
Right.
we tell the story of people that are doing incredible things. Paul, how did you get involved in this incredible cause?
Yeah, so I moved here from New York back in 2006. My background actually is technology sales, which I've done for over 25 years. In 2008, when the economy tanked, I got caught up in a downsizing in my company, and being over 50, the way, it was amazing the effects of what had happened
Sure.
back in '08. It took me on a different road. So I ended up doing a lot of networking, getting more involved in the community, volunteering with different organizations, and I kind of started with UCP as a volunteer back in 2010 with the development committee, and then this past March was 3 years that I'm getting paid for my passion. So.
and that is correct. That is beautiful. Now, your role with UCP is to be able to essentially be the marketer for them. I mean, to spread the word about this particular organization.
Out in the community, I fundraise, I try to build strategic relationships, and I'm a big believer of collaboration with other organizations as well.
In your experience in doing this particular job, and we're talking about 3,500 people that you reach here in the Phoenix area, or is it also in Arizona?
Maricopa County.
It's
yes.
Maricopa County.
Yeah.
Do you plan to expand? Do you see the need for having this type of organization spread out throughout Arizona? What are the plans? What are you thinking about doing?
So that leads me into our newest location, UCP Downtown, which we will start to provide therapy services. It's located on 7th Street and Roosevelt.
Oh my goodness!
So this brings us right down into downtown Phoenix.
Sure.
It allows us to reach a whole other group of folks that truly need these services, and it makes my life easier because now the awareness is spread since we are all the way up in North Phoenix.
And I was gonna say, Paul, that perhaps without putting words in your mouth, what is the biggest obstacle that you see in your role with UCP right now? Because you have to see it. You're doing a phenomenal job and benefiting so many kids and so many adults, but you have to see it also as a marketing situation. How do I market this out? How do I make this this mission, this passion that you have? How do I get the word out?
Right. So it is a juggling act, and I do try to attend networking events, chamber events. We're sustaining members with Local First Arizona
Sure.
as well. But now, like downtown, there's the Phoenix Community Alliance downtown.
Okay.
So I need to get engaged and get there, make connections. So I really have to keep moving around the valley to continue to get the word out and make the connections.
It's the primary need of the organization, funding, or are there other needs?
It is funding. We do get some state and local grants. Circle K of Arizona has been a tremendous partner of ours for the past 31 plus years.
Tremendous.
But as we all know, the competition out there and the need is great, and we need to work as hard as we can.
The competition for funds, in other words, for
Correct.
similar organizations and organizations that are doing phenomenal jobs as well.
And there's so many, yes.
And there's so many. And so how do you make yourself distinct? How do you try to get out of that pack and make others aware that, and I'm not saying that your organization is more important than others, because they are equally important, but from a marketing point of view, you have to be thinking, all right, we're all competing for the same dollars.
Right.
How do you distinct yourself?
So, and again, it's those that we serve. It's the population
Right.
that we serve. It's being creative. Just before we got here on the camera, I received a call from another nonprofit organization that came through to tour, and he just told me that he'd like to do a joint grant with 2 other nonprofits, because these days the funds, the grant companies
Yes.
want to see more collaboration. And I believe if we do it this way, we'll have more people win instead of everyone fighting for the same dollar.
Excellent point. Rather than one organization by itself going after $100,000 for this grant, now you get maybe 3, 4, 5 different organizations who may share some similar values.
And we all win.
And we all win.
Yes. It's exciting, right?
That's why I like you, man. Because you're just perfect in that marketing concept. And I mean, it's really innovative. I hadn't even thought about it, but that makes a heck of a lot of sense. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
That's amazing, man. So what's next for UCP?
Well, our big gala is coming up here.
This, yes.
Yeah.
And you have this gala every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
This year, what it does is it features our members, the children and young adults. This year, we're going to have Brian Hill from Phoenix Fashion Week. We'll have his upcoming models integrated with those that we serve in a little fashion show. And it's a great collaboration with the Art Institute of Phoenix. Their students from their fashion department design some of the outfits that our members wear. So again, great collaboration.
That's great, Paul. It just really, it just hits my heart. Really, really good. What is the one thing that we must know about what you're doing?
Well, my biggest thing is it's not always about, people get scared sometimes when a person from a nonprofit approaches them because they're thinking it's always about the money.
Run for the hills.
But, there's so many ways to help, to get involved. Volunteerism, maybe donating a gift card for a silent auction item. It's just the awareness, spreading the word to your circles of influence. All of these little things do help. And can make a tremendous difference.
Paul Cocuzza, man, it's a privilege. UCP of Central Arizona, man, it's a privilege having you here, man.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome anytime, you know that.
Thank you.
And I'll see you at the next networking event. With that, we're out.